Hello everyone, I'm Grace. Today I'll be sharing a Japanese milk bread recipe using the Tangzhong method or water roux. It's called water roux method. Before I start, I would like to introduce to everyone the latest Innofood Professional Series stand mixer. It's a 7-liter stand mixer, heavy duty, and it's a great stand mixer. Okay, this stand mixer comes with head tilt for easy access. Okay, it comes with a stainless steel bowl here, and I have a few accessories to introduce to all of you. Oh, before that, I have this in jade blue. This is a beautiful color, isn't it? One of my favorite color stand mixer. Let me introduce the accessories. Okay, number one, we have the splash guard. Okay, place it on the top of the mixing bowl this way. This one is to prevent the milk, the water and the flour from splashing out when you're mixing your cake batter or anything like that. The next one I would like to introduce cream beater. It's made of silicone. It's a beautiful color cream beater. It's to cream the butter and sugar, and this part here will actually scrape the side of the bowl, so you don't have to keep on lifting the head of the stand mixer to scrape it. Next, this is the flat beater. You can mix your batter or batter mix using this flat beater. Okay, next, the dough hook. I'll be using the dough hook for my recipe, for the Japanese milk bread recipe later on. Next, the balloon whisk. This is to whip up your egg white, your cream, frosting too. So this is called the balloon whisk. Okay, I will stop here. I will stop talking about the stand mixer. Let's go back to the Japanese milk bread recipe. For the Tangzhong or the water roux, we will need 46 grams of bread flour, preferably the Japanese bread flour, 120 ml milk. I'm using the full cream milk, 120 ml room temperature water. You only need these 3 ingredients to make the Tangzhong or water roux. To make the Tangzhong or water roux, place the flour into a pot or saucepan. Then pour in the milk, then water, stir to mix to get rid of any lumps. Then place the pot or saucepan on the stove. Cook on medium-low heat. Keep on stirring. When the mixture is turning thicker, reduce to low heat. Continue stirring till it becomes gooey and thick. You will know when it's ready when you are able to draw a line like this and it doesn't disappear. Keep it aside to let it cool down completely before use. Okay, this recipe yields 2 loaves of milk bread. So if you would like to make 1 loaf, cut the recipe into half for a loaf of bread. Okay, these are the ingredients needed for this recipe. I have 700 gram Japanese bread flour. You can use high protein flour or strong bread flour. Since it's called Japanese bread flour, that is why I use the Japanese bread flour. 30 gram or 4 tablespoons of milk powder. This is optional, but I'm going to add this in today. 2 teaspoons of salt, 100 grams of granulated sugar, 14 grams or 2.5 teaspoons of dry yeast, active dry yeast, 240 ml milk. I use the full cream milk for today. We will need all the Tangzhong which we made earlier, which has been cooled down completely, 2 large eggs, and 100 grams of softened unsalted butter. I'll be using the Innofood KT-7600 stand mixer, and I'm going to use the special bowl, which is called the ice bowl, which has been chilled for 4 hours. I will talk about it later. And this stand mixer can knead up to 2 kg of dough. Okay, let's start. Sieve the flour. This is the Japanese bread flour that I'm using. Sieve the milk powder as well. And lastly, the salt. These 3 ingredients need to be sifted. Add in all the sugar and all the dry yeast, active dry yeast. Okay, I usually prepare the wet ingredients separately. This is the Tangzhong, which we have already cooled down completely. I will add in the milk. I'm going to stir it a bit. Add in 2 eggs. Okay, done. Now is kneading time. Okay, let's start kneading now. All the dry ingredients are in the bowl. I'm using the ice bowl. I will just roughly mix it for a while. On. We'll be using speed 2. I just want to roughly mix the dry ingredients so they are more balanced up in the bowl. Okay. Now I will pour in the wet ingredient, except for the butter. Butter will be the last to be added in. Okay, now I'll be kneading the dough at speed 3 for 5 minutes. Okay, the ice bowl has an innovative design. It's a double layer bowl with a cooling agent between the gap of the wall of the bowl. So before you use this ice bowl, you will need to chill in the fridge or freezer for at least 4 hours, and you can use it to knead the dough or cream the frosting or whip up your whipping cream, and it will maintain the temperature at 4 to 10 degrees Celsius for about 3 to 4 hours. Okay, now back to the dough. It has been kneading for about 5 minutes. Okay, now we will add the butter. I will add half of it. Knead at speed 4 for about 5 more minutes, but we will add the rest of the butter shortly. Okay, I will add in the rest of the butter. Continue kneading at speed 4 until the 5 minutes is up, which we set earlier. Okay, once the 5 minutes is over and you can see the butter has been incorporated into the dough, I will increase the speed to speed 5 and knead for 6 minutes. Okay, that's time. As you can see, the stand mixer doesn't wobble, or the noise is at the minimum level. So it's a very quiet stand mixer and heavy duty, I must say. Okay, time's up. Okay, let's take out the bowl. Use a scraper, scrape the dough off the dough hook. Okay, it usually takes me about 16 minutes to knead my bread dough. Okay. Minutes is a short time to knead the bread dough. That's why I love this stand mixer, because it's considered a heavy duty stand mixer. Okay, this is how the dough looks like now. Okay, the other way of testing if the dough is done kneading is the window pane test. Okay. Okay. Go. So, pass. You understand what I mean? Pass. Pass the window pane test. Okay, I would like to talk a bit more about the ice bowl. Okay, this is a special patented design by Innofood. Okay, there are 2 layers of steel here, and there is a cooling agent in between the gap of the wall. The cooling agent will be able to maintain the temperature at 4 to 10 degrees Celsius for about 3 to 4 hours. So this bowl, when you use it, you need to chill the bowl for about 4 hours, up to 4 hours in the fridge or in the freezer. Take it out, use it to knead your dough if you use the ice bowl, chilled ice bowl to knead the dough, it will slow down the fermentation rate. This way your dough will not be overproof. And the other thing is, when I decorate large cakes and more than 4 dozens of cupcakes, the frosting and cream tends to melt very easily. So when I use the chilled ice bowl to whip up my cream, can be cream cheese frosting, can be buttercream frosting, or whipping cream, I don't have problem maintaining the cream in this bowl while decorating my cakes. So this is a bowl that you should consider to get. So when you purchase the KT-7600, it comes with a stainless steel bowl. Suggest all of you to add on the ice bowl. You only need to add on 150 ringgit to get the additional ice bowl. If you buy it alone, yes, they do sell that. It's going to cost you 280 ringgit. That's all I would like to talk about the ice bowl for now. After 30 to 35 minutes of proofing in the fermentation mode, this is how the dough looks like now. Okay, it should double in size, just like this. Okay, now we are going to divide the dough. Okay, flour the mat. I'm using a silicone mat. Okay, flour on top. Scrape out. Okay, scrape all the dough onto the silicone mat. Okay, we'll need the weighing machine. For this recipe, I will divide into 6 pieces of dough, weighing 255 grams each. Each bread loaf will have 3 doughs. So divide the rest and we'll shape into round balls. Okay, after dividing into 6 pieces, make them into round balls. Second one, and shape all of them into round balls. Rest them for at least 10 minutes before shaping. After making 6 balls of dough, cover with a piece of cloth and rest for at least 10 minutes before we shape the dough. Okay, the reason why we rest the dough for at least 10 minutes is because the dough will become relaxed and it will be easier for us to roll it out later. Okay, 10 minutes is up. Okay, you will need 2 bread pan or bread tin. I'm using the non-stick bread pan. You need a rolling pin. You can use whatever rolling pin that you have at home. Okay. We will flour the mat. a little bit on top of the dough. Roll it up. Turn it over. Okay, I will make into a rectangular shape as much as possible. Okay. Flatten it a bit more. Okay. Okay, I usually fold the normal bread loaf this way. I will fold the left to the center and the right to the center. And roll it up flat, flatten it a bit. Okay. Hold the top of the dough this way and roll it down. Okay. Seal the seam. Okay. Place into the bread pan. I'll make 2 more. If you are using those normal bread pan or tin, please make sure apply a thin layer of oil on the inner part of the bread pan wall, or else your bread will be sticking after baking and you will have problem getting it out. Okay, I'll do the second one. I'll show you one more. Flatten. Turn it over. Roll it up. Try to make it into a rectangle shape. Try to pop the air bubbles if you see any. Okay. My style, left to right, the right to the middle. Use a rolling pin, flatten it. Okay. Lift up the top part of the dough here and roll it. Okay. Seal the seams. Okay, 3 for each loaf of bread. Continue with the rest and we'll proof for another 30 to 35 minutes using the V88 oven fermentation mode. I'll show you later. Okay, these are how the doughs look like in the bread pan. I'm using a 450 gram bread pan, approximately 21.5 to 22 centimeter in length. So please adjust accordingly with whatever bread pan you have at home. Okay, I will cover with the disposable shower cap and I'll send them into the V88 convection oven to ferment them, or can call it the final proofing. Okay, I will be using the fermentation mode on the V88 convection oven. Okay, press the fermentation button. I will increase the temperature to 35 degrees Celsius I will set at 30 minutes. Start. We'll come back after the final proofing. I will show you how the dough looks like. It should fill up about 80 to 90% of the pan. Then it will be baking time later. Okay, the dough have been proofing for about 35 minutes. I have covered one of the dough with the lid to make sandwich loaf, and the other one is normal bread loaf. Okay, I will take them out because we will need to preheat the oven now. We'll need to wait for 10 minutes for the oven to be preheated. I'll be baking 2 loaves, and I would like to inject some steam into the oven to allow the dough to be moist. Okay, I will show you how it's done later on. I will bake the 2 bread loaves in the V88 convection oven. I will be using the convection setting, top and bottom heat plus convection. Okay, I will be baking at 175 degrees Celsius, top and bottom, preheating it for only 10 minutes. Okay, start. Okay, I'll be using the steam for the first 1 minute of baking. Usually do the egg wash because I don't like to waste an egg just to do egg wash for 2 loaves of bread. So if you prefer the egg wash, okay, you will need 1 egg and a tablespoon of water whisked together, and right before you put the bread tin into the oven to bake, brush a thin layer on top of the bread dough. Okay, today I am baking 1 normal loaf of bread, and this one I have actually covered it. It's actually the sandwich loaf. So I think the dough is about 90% filled up now, so I can't seem to open up to show you how it looks like. Okay, we'll wait for the oven to be ready, then we'll start baking this bread loaf. Okay, I have here 2 loaves of Japanese milk bread. Both were egg wash. I baked them last night. Okay, this is the normal shaping that I show everyone in the video, and this is the braided design. Okay, you can keep this recipe because you can use it for your buns, for your dinner rolls, for your filled stuffed buns like curry chicken buns and all that. You can use this recipe. So you keep this recipe, and you can add nuts, raisins and all that. Imagination, just need an imagination to do what you think is best to be added into the dough. Okay, we'll wait for the oven to be ready for baking. Okay, and I'll show you how is the texture of the bread. My family loves it, so I hope everyone will love it too. Okay, the bread dough have been sitting out on the counter for about 10 minutes now. Okay, I will set minutes. Okay, I have set the temperature at 175 top and 175 bottom. I'm using the convection setting. Okay, we'll bake the bread loaf for 30 minutes. Okay, once I load the bread dough, I will press the steam button. Okay, press one more time, the steam. I press 3 times. It will keep the dough moist during the bake. Wow, my kitchen smells so good. Smells like a bakery. Okay. Leave the mold with the bread on the wire rack, cool for 5 minutes. Then we'll remove them out from the mold. Okay, this batch of bread loaf were kneaded using the ice bowl, and this batch which I made yesterday was kneaded with the stainless steel bowl. Can you see the difference? You will get to see the differences after I pour the bread loaves out from the mold. Pour the bread loaf out from the mold, remove it from the mold, and the sandwich loaf smells great. Look at this. Look at this. It's so soft. Okay, I will show you the texture of the bread loaf, the Japanese milk bread loaf later on. Can you see the difference? The dough which I knead using the ice bowl, and this is the normal stainless steel bowl. The height, this is taller, and it actually proved pretty well. So you can see the difference now. Go get the ice bowl, add on the ice bowl, buy an ice bowl. Okay, now I will cut this, the sandwich loaf. I will cut this and show you. It's still hot, so I'm using the glove. Look at how soft. Look at this. The gluten developed very well. Okay, now I won't be slicing the normal bread loaf. Okay, but I will tear. It's still very hot, so I'm going to put on my gloves. Look at this. Look, all the gluten was developed perfectly during the kneading process, and of course the proofing time too. Look at this. Look at the texture of this Japanese milk bread. Really look like cotton. This is so soft. very soft. I hope everyone enjoyed my video today, and I'll be seeing all of you very soon. Happy baking!